Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to DANDADAN episode 10. It's hard to believe that it's episode 10 already, that this season is like slowly coming to an end, and I wonder why. Because there are series that have also 12 episodes, and they fully and properly feel like 12 episodes, right? They feel like a full core, they feel like a full season, and I'm not surprised at all when episode 10 arrives, or episode 11, or whichever other episode. But in case of DANDADAN, it's really hard for me to believe that it's already ending? What? It can't be, right? I think it's because of the general pacing that this show has, right? It very much seems to me, at least, that it has the pacing of a show that was initially planned for 24 episodes. It was initially planned to be double core, but something came up, I don't know what, and they decided to split it instead, and we're gonna get another split core. We're gonna get episode like 13 and 14 and others maybe in well, not winter 2025, so maybe like spring 2025, something thereabouts, maybe. Or well, it's not winter season yet. No, we are still in fall, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, one season of a break, and then DANDADAN season 2 or second core or whatever you want to call it. And that's probably why it feels so weird that this show will be coming to an end in just about 2 weeks, right? So yeah, interesting. Also, as a little bit of housekeeping, I guess. Super sorry for this episode being late, like 2 days late. It's gonna be, yeah, I think something thereabouts. I had a busy week, like a very busy week. I had to visit a lot of doctors and get a lot of tests, from like x-rays and ultrasounds to just sticking a wooden stick in my mouth and poking around. Which, I mean, it's crazy to me that we have like MRI machines and whatnot, but every single doctor in their office has like a tub of wooden sticks to just poke and prod around. But yeah, thankfully nothing life-threatening immediately came up, but maybe in a couple of years if I do nothing about it, but I will do something about it. So hopefully I'm gonna live for long, long years still. But yeah, I was super busy with that, so sorry for this episode being late. But yeah, we're finally here. Episode 10. Yeah, episode 10. What happened in the previous episode? Well, in the previous episode, Momo, Okarun, and Aira, now a trio of them, were facing the Serpoians, yeah, Serpoians, not Serponians, but not just Serpoians. They were also facing the crab guy, right? Penny Chinkosu, he's listed as on AniList. I don't know if it has any proper translation, but yeah, the crab dude, and Nessie as well. These Serpoians weren't that much of a threat, at least once Momo got involved, right? She was able to suppress their like telekinesis and whatnot, so it was not that bad. Unfortunately, the crab guy was not using his, mental powers, but he was much more, right in your face. And Momo doesn't do well against enemies like that. But in the end, they managed, the three of them. Unfortunately, they then had to face the Nessie, who wiped out the rest of the Serpoians. I believe like one remaining one. Yeah, only one Serpoian was remaining out of the three that arrived. I don't know how many of them there are in total, but Nessie almost wiped them out. Not entirely, though, because although our trio managed to elude Nessie itself, it wasn't so easy once the Nessie merged with the remaining Serpoyan and with the crab dude. Uh, it's apparently something that that Serpoyans can do with their mechanized banana organs, which is new. So hey, it's a multi-purpose tool. What can I say? It's a real Swiss Army knife. And in the end, though, they did manage to defeat that amalgamation, still with very good thinking and very good teamwork. That was like the big thing here, right? Everybody took part in taking down that monster. Momo taunting it so that it focuses on her. Then Ira creating like a roadway using her hair, Momo using her telekinesis to create an air tunnel, and thus creating a surface for Okarun to go full throttle and just blow up the amalgamation, because he can run really well, but he cannot swim for shit. So he needs that road made of hair to traverse. Or alternatively, Momo can use her telekinetic hands and just kind of push him forward and use that as a means of movement, which is cool. Which is cool. Uh, like, I don't want to say that a lesser show would have done it, but usually what other shows would have done is probably give Okarun the ability to run on top of the water, right? He's running so fast that he doesn't have the time to sink, so he just runs. He just goes Jesus and just runs on the surface. Or when he sinks, then he can run super fast on the bottom of the water reservoir, and maybe even so fast that he creates like cavitation bubbles and whatnot. But no, he just sinks like a stone, which is cool. I like it. I like the limitations they give us, they give our characters in this show. So, in the end, they were freed from this pocket space, from this pocket dimension. They landed on solid ground, naked. Okarun with Momo in her underwear on top of him, or was it? Yeah, or was it reversed? Can't remember who was lying on top of whom, but yeah, they were lying on top of each other. Unfortunately, as it turned out, the solid ground was the solid ground of a school corridor, and everybody saw them naked or nearly naked, hugging and laughing and soaking wet in the middle of a school corridor. So there are not many interpretations of that, let's just say. Ira shared the same fate, but she wasn't on a pile together with them. She was somewhere else in like a nearby corridor or something. But she ran out and everybody saw her as well. So some rumors will probably start at school, and I wonder where that's gonna go, right? And how will it be explained? That's curious to me, because we know that regular humans cannot perceive supernatural phenomena, right? So how did it look to other students? Did they just appear randomly, just snap, and here they are in the middle of the corridor? Or did they appear but nobody noticed it to be wrong because it's some sort of like a perception block or whatever? Or right, like what happened there? What questions are gonna arise from that situation? I don't know if we're gonna touch upon it at all, but it would be really nice if we did. So maybe we're gonna get some answers to that, or at least some people talking about it. We'll see about that, and yeah, we'll see about that. So how about we just see, right? To do that, you're gonna need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And with that, we can start watching DANDADAN episode 10 in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, straight into the OP. Oh, that's some good tea. Earl Grey with lemon, honey, and ginger. Ginger is the secret ingredient here. It's Christmas season, so you gotta start adding like ginger, cloves, right? Cinnamon, all that stuff to everything. Also, while we're waiting for the opening, I guess, a bit of advice, like going back to me going through all sorts of doctors. Visit your doctor like once a year, at least. Because I haven't visited my doctor for like a general checkup for a good few years now, and everything that probably should have been or could have been detected earlier, just everything was detected recently. So, as I said, X-rays, ultrasounds, and none of that related. Right? X-ray for something else, ultrasound for something else, poking in my mouth for something else. Thankfully, as I said, nothing super bad. Okay. School? School. Judging by the posters. Whomst. Who are you? School nurse. Amazing picture. Queen Sensei. Maybe put down the whip to convince them. Oh, I like her. uh, it should have been me, not him. uh, yeah. Yeah, because of Turbo Granny's curse. Baka onna doesn't translate to by the way. Just, you know, just saying. Of course. Is that gonna be your moniker now? Could be, yeah. Uh, yeah, double-edged sword. Maybe they can't. Okay. Time for red string and pins. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, sure, it is a sound theory. uh, do you now? They really share a single brain cell, don't they? And now everybody just says a third because Aira joined them. When Aira wasn't here, Momo and Okarun had half a brain cell each. Now they only have a third. Her persona almost sleeped. couldn't care less. What other thing? Of course she didn't forget. Yeah. Training. Spill it out. Because he wanted to be cool. I mean, everybody does. I'm an awkward fellow after all, you should have said. Oh, they're precious. Gee, I wonder. The hair tag again. I love the art in this scene. Hmm. Okay, so how did they perceive it? Kinda. What's she doing there? Trying to figure it out. Who are you supposed to be? Like a detective? Yeah. Ménage à trois? Yeah. She's not far off. She really is not far off. Okay, she is far off. Kinda. Like, one step forward, two steps back with her theories. Oh, her fan club? uh, amazing face. Oh, what you gonna do, Ira? Are you gonna allow the rumor to run its course, or are you gonna correct it? Come on, Ira. Do the right thing. You might be vain as shit, but you're a good girl. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Damn. She matured a little, didn't she? Uh, she's mourning her popularity, isn't she? Yep. Trying to kill the last brain cell. A third of it, at least. Okay, time for a bit of heart to heart between them. Sure, they are. True. Yeah, she is a good girl. A bit of a tsundere, in a way. But still. Huh? Whomst? Oh, Okay, we get some what? Some backstory for him? Round 2. Without Okarun. Or maybe not. Okay, we're getting backstory on him. Uh, oh, so Chiquichita is like what, the name of his kid? Oh, now suddenly what he's been talking is not so nonsensical. There's no indentation on his head. Of course. So what? Is he gonna join the Is he gonna join the team now? Yeah, you're ace in the hole. Ace in the hole? What? Ace up your sleeve. Certainly not disappointance. Take off the gloves, it's gonna be more comfortable for you to eat. Oh, that's a lot of sushi. Uh, it's lively if nothing else. Uh, Amazing. Hmm. So like internal bleeding. Hmm. Do you even have like conversion between whatever Serpoians pay you in. Okay, so that's why he agreed to uh, work for the Serpoians, and it seems like they have white blood, so that fluid was his blood. Okay. How are you gonna try to help him, Okarun? Because I see that you wanna. There we go. How? Yeah. Yeah. He needs a steady supply of money. Well, we gotta help him find a job. Maybe he could teach PE at your school or something. She didn't really call herself that, but sure. Yeah? Ooh! Ah, Momo. Nobody even pays her any mind anymore. Oh? Oh, is it something like their blood is sake or something? Milk. Okay. So just grab a bunch of milk. Well, that makes things easier. He's probably gonna be able to earn enough yen on like a construction site or wherever to buy milk, and you can replenish it by drinking it. Uh, it's not cow's blood. Hmm. Okay. Raw milk. Oh, or a whole cow. Yeah, that's probably gonna be better. Steady supply of milk. Assuming the cow is gonna have something to eat on an alien planet. That's how aliens exactly. That's why aliens abduct cows. Uh, okay, we got an extra solar ally. And disappear. Yeah, that's why aliens abduct cows. Everything makes sense now. Yeah, just a kappa in a flying saucer, of course. No. Okay, so she's funding it. But not for Momo. Because you're the granddaughter, you get special treatment. And she knows you. She knows you better than anybody. What? What? What's that supposed to be? uh, a character from one of Seiko's shows, or that's the missing dude from the opening that we haven't seen yet. Ooh, Okarun's in danger. Ah, the air horn. Oh, that's already 22 minutes. Okay. I thought we might have some time for an after credits scene, but I don't think so. So, we have Aira, the love rival for Momo, and now we're gonna have Gigi, the love rival for Okarun. And a situation, probably, still, where Okarun doesn't have to worry about Gigi the same way Momo doesn't have to worry about Aira, because Momo and Okarun are made for each other. So that's gonna be our last arc for the season, probably. The Gigi arc. Is he gonna find another ball? And he's gonna get some superpowers as well? Possibly. And spoilers. So let's stop it right here. Alrighty. Let's watch it again. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, that's him. That's Gigi on the right. And that's Gigi dancing on the left here. And I think there was at least one more place where he also appeared in the opening. But yeah, it seems like we have our full cast by now, right? All the monsters from the opening we've seen, I think. Maybe. I would have to watch the opening in full again. But all the human characters I think we've already met. Yeah, okay. So makes sense. Second core, second season, whatever you want to call it, is probably gonna get a whole new opening. And we're gonna get a whole new bunch of characters and monsters. So that's a school nurse, eh? Queen Sensei. School nurse, eh? I really like her design. Like, you know, memes about mummy, sorry, mummy aside, I really like the covered eye, the beauty mark, and the lipstick. I really, really like her design in general. And the fact that she has strong mommy energy is like, you know, just a cherry on top. Yeah, they were targeting Okarun indeed, and yeah, that's gonna be uh like half kind of a blessing, kind of a curse, right? They have superpowers, and because of those, they are being targeted by aliens. But thanks to them, they have a way to fend off those aliens, right? So a blessing and a curse both. The aliens, despite having astounding scientific technology, are not invading Earth. They can't because we have yokai monsters around. That is actually a pretty sound theory with the little information that we have to work with. But yeah, it would kind of make sense, right? They were the Serpoyans at least, they were very surprised about Okarun's powers. They are unfamiliar with curses, which would imply that they themselves cannot be cursed. Um, they can perceive paranormal. We don't know, actually. We don't know if they can perceive paranormal. It's entirely possible that whenever Okarun or Aira were transformed, the Serpoyans just saw them as regular people, right? It's not a given that they can perceive the paranormal. All they could see Nessie and the Chinkos, the crab guy, yeah, but it was inside of a pocket dimension. So it's not the case of uh, Momo, Okarun, and the rest, Momo, Okarun, and Aira being able to perceive the Nessie, for example, swimming around the school, but no other students are able to perceive it, but the Serpoyans can perceive it, right? Because that would mean the Serpoyans are able to perceive the paranormal. It's the case of them being like physically whisked away to some sort of a pocket dimension thing where they disappeared from the classroom. So it is possible. It actually is possible that the Serpoyans cannot even perceive the paranormal. And by extension, the aliens cannot. It is a theory. And I would say it's pretty sound. And it's, I guess, a bit of an extension of Okarun's theory that the yokai are protecting the earth, whether they are doing it by design, quote unquote, or they're doing it just accidentally, just a side effect of them being here. That remains to be seen. But yeah, I like fully believe Okarun's theory, and on top of that, I add that aliens cannot perceive the paranormal, right? First time that Okarun saw the Serpoyans, though, was when he already was cursed by Turbo Granny. Or he had Turbo Granny within him. So we cannot tell whether regular humans are able to perceive aliens or not. Momo was able to see them when she was still regular, but was she? Her powers that she awakened were, presumably, always within her, and she only awakened them. So even before she awakened them, she already had them within her, so she was already paranormal in some way, so she was able to perceive the paranormal. Not on the daily basis, though. Huh. Yeah, I wonder. The whole thing with not everybody being able to perceive everything, it's cool. It's cool. What to do? Blame Momo, of course. I'll just say that Miss Ayase stripped me. Sure. I mean, she's not incorrect, right? Momo did tell her to strip. So, loyal friends. I like that Momo didn't forget. I was kind of afraid that it's gonna be like, water under the bridge, and whatever happened, happened. They had the chance to reconnect, to reassess, and reestablish their love again during the fight and all that, and whatever happened before, that doesn't matter anymore. But no, no, she remembers, and she brings it back, and she asks, and they talk, and Okarun explains, and she believes him. I like it. I really like how they handled this bit of misunderstanding. It's cool. I like how like mature it is and how sweet it is between them. And I especially love this scene when the art goes all depth of field, right? Like notice the back of his head, the line art doesn't have any sort of blur on it. His hair a little bit, and then there's that bit of an art style change. Yeah, bit of a zoom, bit more of this like this blur in the back, the quivering eyes, and Momos of course as well. It's great. I really like those little tender moments between them. And of course, their friends had to barge in. I was half expecting Momo's friends to also find Momo and Okarun in some sort of an in flagranti position. Maybe they started tussling or something, right? Maybe they started pushing each other and they fell, and oh, Okarun is straddling Momo, or Momo is straddling Okarun, and her friends barge in. I fully expected something like that to happen. But no, no. We get a fairly normal ish situation. Why is she holding that bit of red cellophane? I've no idea. Who is she trying to play? I've no idea either. It's probably some sort of like archetype of a grizzled old detective from Japanese TV. That would be my guess. Probably. Because, I mean, she's clearly playing some sort of a character. Or some sort of an archetype, rather, right? Like, if it was, I don't know, more. If it was taking from more Western, I guess, influences, she would be pretending to have a pipe in her mouth, or a cane or something like that, right? But she's doing the weird speech pattern, weird accent, so probably a reference to Japanese detectives in movies and shows. She was very close. A love triangle emerges. Yeah, she's basically spot on. But then she just she just completely flew over the handle. Yeah, nude gladiator combat. That's exactly what it was. Exactly and precisely what it was. uh, I really like this moment with Aira. I love this face, first of all. But yeah, I really like this moment where she realizes that what she created has run a little bit further than she expected it to, and a little bit further than she wanted it to, right? She only wanted to spread those initial rumors because in that moment she was angry with Momo, and she believed Momo to be her enemy and whatnot, right? That was the purpose of it. But she didn't really think of long term consequences, right? Now she refused to elaborate on what happened because she was thinking, yeah, uh, I'm just gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna say that, oh, I really don't wanna talk about it. It's a traumatic experience to me. And people are gonna stop asking, and because they stop asking, they stop talking, and thus they stop remembering that, and it's gonna dissipate, right? Two plans that, like, in isolation, kinda sorta made sense in their twisted way, but she didn't think of long-term consequences. Yeah, you've been harassed by Momo lately. What? What are you talking about? Oh, I know the rumor that Momo's sleeping with everybody. Oh, what? I did not intend for it to go that far. And do I do something about it? Do I out myself or do right? I like it. I like it that she's not doubling down. She realizes her mistake and she corrects it. I'm the one who spread that fake rumor. Please don't say anything bad about Momo. And just like that, completely cut off the topic and left like the badass that she is. uh, I've done myself in. I think it's gonna add to the air of mystery around her. I think it's gonna raise her popularity even a little bit more, right? Because people are gonna start talking and wondering, right? If that's not what it was, then what was it? What's going on between her and Momo Ayas? Are they fighting for that nerd guy or right? Ah, it's gonna be interesting. And she's being very tsundere about it because of course she is. Because she has an image to uphold, but Momo's not buying it. White fluid, apparently milk or apparently blood, and we have a good and proper explanation what he means by Chiquita. I really thought it's a bunch of nonsense, like I don't know, he's saying Chiquita Chiquita because he's yellow and there are Chiquita bananas. So it's a pun or something like that. I've no clue. But no, Chiquita is the name of his kid. And he went on to work with the Serpoians to earn money to save his kid from an illness. And Seiko still doesn't believe in the existence of aliens because, of course, I had no idea what aliens eat, so I just made some curry for now. I kind of thought that he's gonna join the gang, that they're gonna get like some sort of a, I don't know, some sort of a deal where it turns out that maybe Japanese yen are so much stronger on the galactic market than Serpoian pesos or whatever, and Seiko like hires him as a housekeeper essentially, right? And she pays him like 100 yen a month or something, but to him it's like, you know, everything that he needs to save his son or whatever, right? I thought we might be going in that direction. Or maybe we're gonna figure out some disguise for him and he's gonna start working at a construction site, or right, I was thinking in those terms. Never would I have expected milk. Beer, I think like oolong tea, pickled ginger, maybe, wasabi in a tub, soy sauce, um, and some nice sushi. Some nice sushi that he hates, apparently. Uh yeah. It's lively here, if nothing else. It's really lively here. And Turbo Granny just can't give any fucks. She's gonna enjoy living as a cat, isn't she? Just eat, sleep, and repeat. That's all she needs to do. Tons of currency. I like this bit with not every single word that he says being like translatable or having an equivalent in language. Mm. It reminds me of two things. One of those things is a book. Um, how's it called? Not Nature of Predators. Fuck. I have it on my Kindle. I'm reading it, and I can't remember the name. It's a book by Hambone, the alias of that dude, and it's Death Worlders. Such a simple title. But yeah, in Death Worlders, there is a technology of translation chips, translation devices, etc., that allow different species of aliens and humans to communicate with each other. But there are certain terms that are like so specific to a given like alien civilization or to human civilization that the translator has to like physically take a while to chew through the data and find the closest approximation. I really like that, and I really like that some of those words here are also untranslatable. And another thing that comes to my mind, am I gonna be able to read the name of the author? I can read his surname. Uh, Podlewski, a Polish author, he released a book, Głębia, The Depth, or The Deep, or Deep, or various translations like that. I'm not sure if there are any English translations, probably not, because he's been selling it like on a local convention a couple of years back, so I don't know if it became any sort of popular enough to warrant a overseas translation. But a very cool idea in that book is that aliens came to our solar system, but it turns out that we just completely cannot communicate with them because their perception of everything and their communication is completely and utterly alien. Right? Exactly. Like, you show them a red mug and they perceive it as the smell of spoiled milk. You tell them hello and they perceive it as a kick in the jaw, or, right? Things like that, where you just completely cannot communicate with them. And I always like it when alien cultures and alien species are actually alien instead of just being green humans or blue humans that have the same exact words for, well, that have words for the exact same things, right? Like, even on Earth, single planet, various different cultures, various different languages. There are languages that have terms for things that other languages do not have the terms for. Right? So why would English language translate one to fucking Asari or whatever? So I really like this bit of some of the words just being completely untranslatable. I really like it. We don't even know the name of his species. We have powerful bodies, so we have jobs like bodyguards and whatever. Can't find any work. Only outlaw jobs, yeah. And of course Okarun wants to help, but the fact that he jumped immediately into like giving him his banana organ is like super weird. Like, why would he go that far? And why would he even believe that he can reclaim it? Like, reclaim it how? Like, what's Okarun thinking here? That he gives Crab Dude his banana organ. He takes it to Serpo and gives it to Serpoyans, and Okarun retrieves it. How exactly? Like, what's his plan here? I wonder whether it's an oversight on the author's part, or is it just an oversight on Okarun's part, where he's driven by the moment, kinda, right? Like, there's an issue in the moment, and in the moment I can provide this sort of help, this sort of solution, and he doesn't really think things through, doesn't think about long-term consequences of things. He's like hot-headed in that way. I don't know if it's a character trait, or is it just a, I don't want to say a mistake in the plot, but kinda sorta some like narrative hiccup, I guess. He wants to work, but he can't find a job. Right. She's so bashful. I will get it for you. This your you know what? uh, milk. Apparently, they bleed milk, and apparently drinking milk replenishes their blood. So they're kind of vampires, in a way, right? They're vampires. They're fucking space crab vampires. Interesting far as alien races go. Milk is cow's blood. It it is not. It definitely is not. It's not even close to blood. It's not close enough to being blood to even warrant the use of like quotation marks here. Like, no, not at all. Cow's blood does contain some like white blood cells in it, and that's about it. Because those white blood cells are supposed to go to the calf, of course. Uh, if cow's milk contains red blood cells, it I don't think it can even be sold. At least not in Europe, at least not in Poland. Like, the quality regulations for milk are like way up there, to the point where, again, at least in Poland, I can speak of other countries. When a cow is sick, for example, or when a cow is on antibiotics or whatever, that cow's milk cannot make it into the same vat that the rest of the cow's milk goes. There are even special, like, automatic milking machine things that have like detectors built in them that kind of dissect the composition of milk, and if they detect that the milk contains bacteria, for example, or like specific bacteria, or too much blood white cells or whatever, then it just cuts off the flow and doesn't send the milk to the like collector, collector vat. It's automated. So milk is nowhere near cow's blood. Unless in Japan, but I don't think so. I really don't think so to be the case, but sure, whatever you say. Raw milk is better, apparently. Isn't that like all the rage in the US or something among the tinfoil hat wearing people on Twitter, formerly X, or the other way around, right? There is something like that where they drink raw milk because they believe that like pasteurization kills something. I don't know. It kills bacteria. That's the purpose of it. uh, Intense milk. And we get an explanation as to why aliens kidnap cows. Also, amazing flying saucer. I love the greebling on it. Uh, Very reminiscent of starships in Star Wars. At least the like OG Star Wars movies, the original like the first six movies of Star Wars. Uh, in the first few Star Wars movies, many of those ships were actually like miniatures, and to do like tiny little greebling like that on the surface, it takes a lot of work, but it looks so fucking good. And if you don't know what greebling is, or greebles, it's this sort of a technique of making a surface more interesting. You put a bunch of random boxes and pipes and changes in elevation and grates and shit that doesn't have like good and proper use to them, right? It makes no sense why there would be like row of what, four blue lights here. They don't have a purpose. They are just here to make the entire spaceship look more interesting. That's greebling, and it's a technique used in 2D art, in 3D art. If something ever happens, I will make sure to be your ally. Something ever happens, and he is their ally. Calling it now. How do I call him? Penny Chinkosu, I guess, or just Chinkosu. Chinkosu. I'm gonna say crab, milk, alien comes to help. How are they gonna be able to contact him? I don't know. But he's probably gonna come around to help. Cattle mutilation, live abduction, and you're a nuisance to the neighborhood, of course. Buy us some school uniforms with Miss Dodoria's appearance fees. Miss Dodoria? Huh? I I recognize the name Dodoria from somewhere in this show, but I've I've no idea. I've no clue. Uh, yeah, no, I've no idea. And she's drinking milk in a power stance because, of course. Momo, Momo, you. Uh, Again, question. What's going on with Okarun's home situation? Does he not have parents to buy him a new uniform? No. Does he even have a home, or does he live at Momo's place? I don't know. Uh, See, this is interesting about this show. There are some things that they put a lot of thought into, right? Like explanation why cows are being abducted by aliens, or the explanations about how powers work and intermingle and things like that. But there are things that they just completely fucking ignore. Where does Okarun even live? It's not necessary for the story, it's not necessary for the world building technically, so we just kind of skip it, but still, I wonder. Hiroshi Abe. Who the fuck is Hiroshi Abe? Hiroshi Abe is an actor. Japanese model and actor, known for his roles in Trick and Gojira 2000. So, apparently, he looks like this. And also has a power stance and talks rocket engine valve. Rocket engine valve. What the fuck is this show, man? And Turbo Granny, of course, completely zonked out. Just asleep, not giving a single fuck. Rocket engine valve. He's a jock. You can immediately tell the ball in his backpack, of course, sportswear, and yeah, and a very like standard classic pretty boy with the bangs, with red hair, with an earring in his ear, right? Like, if this was an otome game, then he would be one of the 5 archetypes fighting for Momo's attention. So, I mean, he's gonna be an archetype fighting for Momo's attention. I'm pretty much certain of it. But Momo only has her eyes for Okarun, and Okarun only has his eyes for Momo. But look at Aira, though. Look at Aira. Oh, yeah. But Momo has her own man now. This dude is gonna be free for the taking. Childhood friend, because of course. And also Seiko says something about, I heard all about it from your mom. So probably some sort of a story of him going away for some years, maybe to a different school, to chase after sports stipend or something like that. And now he returns home, but his parents have already moved out and he has nowhere to stay. But Seiko has a lot of room, so he can stay here. Probably something like that, right? Probably something like that. Like, why else would he come here with a full backpack and everything instead of leaving them at home or hotel or wherever he's staying and just coming for a visit? Momo's childhood friend. Yeah, Okarun's in danger. Not. He's absolutely not in danger. But we are supposed to believe that he is, right? Oh, the player just closed. Sure, I guess that's also fine. We were done with the episode anyway. But I wanted to take a look at the title of that episode. So actually, I am gonna take a look at the title of this episode right quick. DANDADAN 10. And oh, it just closed again. Why are you closing on me? You're not supposed to. You were never closing before. Now you are. Why? Whatever. I'm not gonna know the title. This doesn't fucking matter. I know why it happens. I updated the video player recently and probably some settings didn't transfer or whatever. Right. So, that was episode 10 of DANDADAN. And it was basically an episode of closure to the arc, right? That's basically all it was. Everybody got closure here in one way or another. Aira got some closure in a way where she grew as a person. She admitted to her faults, to her schemes. And what's that gonna bring her? We don't know. But she did the right thing, right? She is a good person ultimately. So that's cool. Momo and Okarun, nothing much changed for them, but nothing needs to change for them, I would say. Right? They are perfectly fine as they are right now. Like, sure, they should grow a little bit eventually, but what I mean is mostly their like relationship. Let's not rush it. Let's not do any like, revelations here or anything like that. Okarun did get a bit of closure, I guess, in. Yeah, they did. Okarun got some closure in admitting that he was training because he wanted to look cool for Momo. Momo got some closure in getting an answer as to what Okarun was doing with Aira. And that's cool, just a random alien goon got some closure. That's cool. Like, it's one of the things that I would not have minded if it didn't happen. If the whole thing with the crab guy did not happen, I would not pay it any mind. I would not be sitting here saying, "Oh, I wish the crab guy got some closure. I wonder what happened to him." No, absolutely not. But because we got it, yes, actually. Like, I want to know what happened with him, you know? I want to know what happened to Nessie now. I kind of want to know what happened to the last remaining Serpoians, right? Like, how did they split up in the end? Was it so traumatic that Crab Guy was bleeding all over? What happened to Nessie after the split, right? So that was super cool, unexpected, but very, very much appreciated. The whole thing with his blood being milk is just DANDADAN being DANDADAN, so you know. And anybody else worth mention? Not really. But yeah, this episode was basically a closure to that entire arc. All of that is done, right? The rumors about Momo are done. Aira being established as part of the team is done. All of that jazz. And then at the very, very end, during something that could have been an after credits scene, really, we got a bit of a hook towards the new arc, the Gigi arc, because the childhood friend is here. And just like Momo was so jealous of Aira, now Okarun is gonna be so jealous of Gigi. What's more, Gigi is kinda, maybe, I'm just kinda looking at the archetype here, is kinda like what Okarun would be hoping to be, right? Like, he's obviously cool, he's sporty, he's probably strong and quick on his legs, right? He can run very fast, and he has a lot of strength because he does sports, and Okarun wants to be all that, to be cool for Momo. And now he sees someone who is like that. And he believes that Momo needs a strong, sporty, cool man, and he wants to become that, but there is someone who already is that. So of course Momo is gonna choose him, right? Well, no, because you are so much more than just those surface level qualities that Gigi might have, but Momo is not looking for Gigi. Momo is looking for Okarun. That's cool. I'm trying to look for maybe not parallels, but kinda looking for parallels between Okarun being jealous of Momo and Gigi, and Momo being jealous of Okarun and Aira. In a way where Gigi is who Okarun wanted to be, but I don't think Aira is who Momo wanted to be. Momo doesn't have like aspirations of being the school queen or anything like that, so probably not like in that direction. I don't think Momo has like specific aspirations and wants of being super in sync with Okarun, so I don't think she should be jealous of how Okarun and Aira worked together. So, like, in part, I really want to find some sort of a parallel here, but I can't, so there probably isn't any. But yeah, we'll see how the situation evolves, of course, because it could be entirely that I misunderstood Gigi's character, and he's gonna be something completely different, and the parallels to Aira are gonna be much more clear. I don't know. We're gonna see in future episodes, of course. But right now, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. But you guys, you tell me now, what did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that, in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Dandadan, but also Ari, Fureta, Shangri-La Frontier, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live and when those videos go up, of course. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs absolutely nothing to do so and helps the channel an awful lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Zerainer, Dr. Watt, Akamasar, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to fight for sushi.